Welcome. I am GpaSilverMane. This video is everything Alliance Wars, the master guide. Beginner, mid-game, end-game, all of it. It can help anybody in this game. Quite simply, it might touch up some stuff that you already know as a veteran or an end-game player, but for the most part, it's going to help everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about beginner tips, the deep dive, everything Alliances, explain it in thoroughly. What prompted me to do that is we are starting wars tomorrow night, first war for GPA Quest at 21 million power as an Alliance. And we're a lot of new players. We have a lot of new players and stuff. And if nothing else, it's just that way they can kind of understand where I'm coming from as a leader and understand wars better. In this video, I'm going to talk about beginner tips, a deep dive, everything Alliance Wars, as well as room strategies, war defense teams, war offense teams, and kind of like placement and such and other things. I'm also going to give a quick touch on the store based off my farming guide, beginner's guide, Marvel Strike Force 2.0. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It will help the channel grow. We're headed for 1,000 subscribers. And we're getting closer every single day. Also, there's a comment section. Please feel free to comment if I miss anything or you have some feedback. You just want to ask some questions, comment, you know what I mean? Also, hit thumbs up if this helps you in any way, shape, or form. It's completely free to subscribe and a like and a comment. So do all three, preferably. But thumbs it up because it will help YouTube know to put out the video to more of the Marvel Strike Force community that's searching for it. And it can help more people that way. A lot of this is just, it might go by you or over your head where you don't know it. And once you know it, you can utilize it. You know what I mean? It took a while for me to learn it all and master it all. So hopefully this will help you get there a lot faster. All right, let's go ahead and dive in here. I do want to say that if this video runs way too long, I'm going to break it into 2 or 3 videos and release them all at the same time. And you can just watch them at your leisure that way instead of having to sit down for a 30, 45-minute video. Because there's a lot to this, okay? I tend to be long-winded. It's just kind of how I am. So stay tuned through it all so you don't miss anything. You get all the information. It's going to be really, really awesome here. So I want to start here. This is the Alliance War. You click on the Alliance War tab at the beginning. Oh gosh, load screened. I shouldn't have done that. But right here, just matchmaking in 21 hours. So tomorrow, the matchmaking happens, and then 2 hours later, you start the fight. You can only make defensive changes up till the matchmaking starts, and then you're stuck with what you've done. First thing I want to touch on here is your war credits. This is your currency for the war store. This is elite war credits that you use to open orbs to get premium gear like mini uniques and such. It says and supplies in war store, but we'll look at that. I don't really think there's anything you want to spend it on. Let's go ahead and look at league info here. Rankings. There's a lot of top tier people out here. I don't think we're even ranked. Yeah, we haven't played even a single one. Leagues. The rankings don't really matter. It's more of a brag stand, you know, kind of see where people are at and such. It's wonderful to be at the top, though, I'll tell you that. Now, leagues, you get different payouts per league that you're in. Bronze will get lower ones, obviously. Does it let me click on any of this? No. Okay, so it goes all the way up to Diamond. I am in Platinum 2 in my main alliance, Titans Reborn. Hey, they're recruiting as well, so if that's Caliber Alliance for you, please check it out. Rewards. So we're Bronze 1. This is the current. So if we win, we're going to get 2,000, 500, 15, and 300K. If you lose, you're not getting that bad. I mean, 400 less war credits, 125 of these. Yes, it adds up over time, but you're not going to win every fight. I'll guarantee you that. Knockout rewards. And this is why war offense is so much more important than war defense starting out, okay? Maybe forever, actually. You want to be getting these extra war store credits to buy characters and gear and such. So, and we'll cover that here in a minute. But essentially every character you kill, so if you take out one room, that's 5 characters, a team that you beat, you'll get 50 extra credits starting out. I believe this is up to like 170 on my main account. We get 170 credits per 5 people we kill. The store, let's go ahead and touch on the store here real quick. And I'm going to base this off my farming guide and stuff. Bishop is priority for Axemen. Now with Web Warriors coming, if you have Web Warriors or you get them, that can be your raid team, and you can focus them up first, and then Axemen later to do the mutant lane. But currently, they are the best raid team in the game. So Axemen Bishop was originally the way to go, and he still is. I mean, you can absolutely farm him and get him going because you're going to want him for the mutant lane, as well as a war team. They're just really, really great. And he's the best character. Him and Jubilee, I would say, are tied on the Axemen. But also Ghost, so you can unlock Jubilee. Now, if you just want to backburn all that, you can do something totally different. But following my guide, that's what I would do. As well as Maria Hill. So let's say you got 10,000 war credits, and it shows you Maria Hill, grab her. But otherwise, Bishop and Ghost take priority, then Maria Hill. Never buy gear early on. Late game, you will end up buying mini uniques and stuff. Gold mini uniques, teal mini uniques, and stuff from here. But that's something you'll figure out on your own, I promise. Don't buy blue and purple gear. It's a waste of your credits. There's a lot of characters in the war store, and you're going to want them all. I promise you. Now, I think at the bottom here, you can actually buy some weird stuff with these elite war credits. But I recommend using them here. And if you're a new player, use them here. If you're a new player, use them here. If you need something and you have credits setting here, these credits do nothing for you setting up here. They do stuff when you spend them. So people will say save them because you're going to need so many for this. And that's true. It's absolutely true. But I've got tons and tons of them that I just saved up forever. And then I just went ahead and spent them on this for the heck of it. You know what I mean? It's like I need teal gear to drop so I can spend the rest of my credits is what I'm saving for now. But you go through stages. So don't be afraid to buy some of these if you need the gear and stuff. It's going to help you more than the credits setting up here for 6 months or a year from now when you're going to buy these. And you might not even be playing then. So why not utilize them now? If you can save them, by all means, save them. But otherwise, that's all you want to get out of the war store is Bishop, Ghost, Maria Hill. In my opinion, following my farming guide. Maria Hill is for Omega Red, as well as Secret Avengers, as well as she does a lot of content. My guide is set up to help you clear all content in this game. So that's what the war store is based off of there. Now the leaderboard, again, this is the brag stand, as well as it's showing you your war season. So let me look here. We get 120 or 110. We get one of these in my main alliance every time. Even the bottom's at 90, so you're only getting 20 or 30 less from platinum. So I mean, it's really not that bad. Obviously, you do get a significant more up top here. So that would be a night and day difference. Participation will show your attacks, how many points you got, how many times you boosted a defensive room, all sorts of things, which leads to your MVP status. There is a website or a web page you just search up how to get MVP, and it tells you the breakdown of how the points are assigned. Just participating will help so much. Now this, right below my head here is War Prep, and it's going to pull this up. You don't really need to look at War Prep. You can get this stuff. Obviously, I've got a ton of these that they've given me for maintenances and stuff. I haven't bought none of these. And these are your defense ones to boost defense rooms. Gives them deflex for, I think it's 3 deflex or deflex for 3. Yeah, it's 3 deflex, I believe, or something like that. It's quite wonderful. Now, you can look here and read this for the rules. And we're going to cover pretty much all of it. All right, sorry about that. This will cover pretty much everything, and we're going to talk about a lot of it here. If you want to read through that, feel free on your own time. You're more than welcome. I'm not going to read through it. I'm just going to cover everything you need to know right off the top of my head. All right, so right here, war times. My main alliance is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. We're at 1 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, which works out for me as a content creator. And we'll see how it works out for the alliance. If it doesn't work, we'll have to switch times or days. As long as the biggest percentage of the alliance can make do to be on at the start of it, we're going to rock it, okay? So you can change these. I believe it's once a month or something. It says schedule a time for war to begin. Changes will take effect after the upcoming war. Now, I've heard you can only change it once a month, but I have no proof of that. So you might be able to change this every other war. You know what I mean? Potentially. I wouldn't recommend it. At all. Okay, so this is the current setup. One of my captains has gone in and changed things around to the way they want them to be, or the way they think would be best, and I totally appreciate that. But I'm going to go in and set up a whole setup that I want, that I think will work better starting out. And we might use this, or we might change things up. You know what I mean? Flip it, reverse it, change things, just go crazy one time. I don't know. These yellow markers here are teams that have been placed. So like dude come in here and placed a bunch of teams. So that's why they're yellow. They're colored in. Now if it's gray, it's a shield team. It means nothing's been placed there. Now, as a beginner, like I said, beginner tips, beginner dive, beginner guide. Um, Wars are won on offense, okay? You want to make sure you can have at least 10 successful war attacks. You do not want to put teams on defense if you don't have 10 solid war offenses. I promise you that. You want to be winning because you get those extra war credits to spend in the store, get you character shards and gear to level up stronger to help your alliance even more. That's what you want to do. Now, let's say you have mercenaries and they're just so much better on war defense. Go ahead and throw them on defense. You're still going to have plenty of stuff for war offense. Here's mine currently. Nothing. And I have no intention of putting a team in here at all. I don't even know that I can get 10 war attacks at this point. I will build into it. So this is what you're going to get when you find my place here. And I'm sure we're going to see this on the opposite side because it places you within, like, I think it's a 50 to 100 million power range usually. Which is quite significant. If we fight somebody at 70 million power, we're going to get dominated. But if we're really close, a 5 to 10 million power range, it could be competitive based off how you place your rooms, okay? And who does more attacks. If we have a more active alliance and we clear more shield defaults, we're going to win. If they don't have all 24 people doing 10 attacks, that's 240 attacks, they're not going to beat us, okay? That's why it is crucial to have an active alliance. So wars are won on offense. Make sure you have your 10 war attacks before you're putting on ready on defense. I literally used my Asgardians up till like a month ago on war offense. I just now switched them to war defense because I have an extra team with Cersei and Icarus being their own personal team, right? So that'll just bolster my defense, make it harder for them to get through me as on my main account, as well as I still have my 14 war attacks actually, but I do extras and stuff. So that's a point that you will get to. Don't put all your good teams on defense and not be able to kill nothing. If we can't kill one node because all of our teams are on defense, and they kill one node, they won by winning one node. Wars are won with offense, not defense. And there is no defensive war team that can stand up to any attack. There's a counter. You can attack it 2-3 times to beat it, but there is no war defense that is unbeatable, okay? Even if you go in and you kill one person, another team goes in and kills another person, and you attack it 5 times doing that same method to get through it, there's no war defense that can stop everything, okay? I promise you that. Make sure you save for offense. All right, so I want to talk about the rooms and the priority. Obviously, these top 3, they're not important at all. They're throwaway rooms, essentially. You can disguise yourself in these by... It's a strategy. What you do is, like, this guy on this side, his first 4 teams that they can see, you'd want to have... Okay, let's say you set up 4 teams. Now, this guy, Brigader over here would want to match the exact same 4 teams. No matter what their power level is, he wants to match them. And hopefully the power levels are similar. So then when they come into this room, they look at it and they're like, okay, this is what it looks like. Let's see if this guy's weaker. Oh my god, it's the same teams, similar power. They have no idea. It doesn't matter which one they attack. Then they go ahead and attack this, and oh my god, they run into some strong teams. They're like, oh crap. So then they come over here and they start attacking through this, and they're like, they run into weak teams. They're like, man, we should have went that way. Or they run into even stronger teams. They're like, oh crap again. So it's like mirroring your defensive war teams. And that way, if you can do that with all 6 of these rooms, they don't get no edge. They can't be like, well, this guy has weaker teams, let's go that way. This guy has, or I guess that's the only way they could go. They can't be like, look at your first 4 teams and be like, oh my god, this guy's just running weird stuff, let's go through him. They all got the same teams, they all got similar power. Which way do they go? They have to make a random choice and hope they're right because they don't know what's underneath. If you put engineering security underneath one of these, they will be able to find it that way because it gives defense up to the one above it or defense down to the one above it. So bear that in mind. If you put your security or engineering in the top row or in the second row, it's going to give it away to these guys. So like if I put engineering right here, let's go ahead and set this up here. Bear with me real quick. Engineering, let's say I put it right there. Now you go in here. This whole room's going to have defense up, see? And that tells you right there, oh my god, they have engineering's under the flight deck 1. So that means the one under here is going to have defense up from the engineering, and the one underneath engineering is going to have defense up. But you're going to kill engineering before you get to the one below it, right? So that's just a giveaway if you put security or engineering in this row. Maybe try not to do that. Okay, because it will give it away, and they're going to be like, well, I'm going to go over here. This teams don't have defense up. I'm going to go down this side. That's also a way, by doing that, they're not going to want to attack this. You're going to force them down one of these other rows. And if you have your bridge, let's say your bridge was over here, they're going to go down one of these other rows. They're going to be the furthest from your high point room that they could be. Okay? So that's a strategy you can use by directing people. I would say this row and this row are your two most important rows to have your strongest people in. If they get to your bottom row, they've already ran you through. So it don't matter what teams you got in here. You don't want strong people, or, you know what I mean? You don't want strong war defenses down here. They shouldn't see combat if you build it right and you play right. Potentially. I mean, obviously, at very end game, it's just whoever clears first, I think, is how it works. Which is kind of dumb. But I've never seen it, and I'm up to Platinum 2, so we get down to like 2 or 3 rooms, and it's competitive. It's very competitive wars. So what I like to do is actually, let me discuss this here. So as a beginner, you come in, what you want to do is you want to pick a room. So like I did, I went into engineering, I clicked on it, I hit claimed. Let's say I want to move. Unclaimed slot. Can I move? Maybe not. Let's try this. Apparently you can only move one time. Or let me do this. Manage. I can move the player. Okay, that's weird. So I want to go right here. Move player. Okay, so it moved me over. But I don't want to do that, obviously. I want to stay where I was just for now. Boom. And the cool part about this is you just come in, you find an empty spot that doesn't have a guy in it, that hasn't been claimed. You click on it, you hit claim. That's now your room. You don't need to put nothing in starting out as a newer player. You'll get there to where you put teams in eventually, or just extra characters that you're not using in your war offenses that have slowly built up for other reasons. You could throw them on defense for just to slow down your enemies, essentially. Your captains and your leadership will move you as needed. So like this guy, Brigader's here, and he has a pretty awesome defense. I don't want him up top in the flight deck. Or right here, my bad. I'm gonna go ahead, if it lets me click on it. He actually put some stuff into his defense. I'm gonna move him into a more important strategic room or position to protect a strategic room. So I'm not gonna leave him up here in the flight deck. I don't care if they take out all 3 flight decks and get easy points, because we're gonna do the same thing. You know what I mean? So starting out, just pick a room, and you'll get it moved around as you need it by your leadership. Obviously, if you're going to put in some strong war defenses, or you're one of the bigger people in your alliance, talk with your leadership, because reactor and bridge, you are going to put some big defenses in. If it's just shield securities, you know what I mean, that you have on defense, don't expect to be in a big room, potentially. Is what I'm trying to say there. So that's all you need to do as a beginner, is get in there, be ready, prepare your war offenses. I did get asked the question the other day here. Let me show you this real quick. Go to your roster, and you click this little thing here, and bam. Now right here is your war saved squads. You got 15 of them. I don't have any saved. And you just click manage, and you can set up your war saved squads. Now you can build them, save them, and that way they're ready to go. Or like I like to do when I'm in wars is I'll click on my blitz saved squads, and I can pick a team from there close enough, take out the few characters I want, plug in the extra ones, and then bam. I don't have my war save squad set up on my roster on my main account. All right, so war defense teams. Let's go ahead and talk about those real quick. Right now, currently, the war defense teams in order from strongest to weakest, in my opinion, if they're all leveled equally. Heroes for Hire is number 1. You got your mercenaries, Taskmaster. That guy kills me. Mercenary war defense. Then you got your Marauders and your Shield tied for 3rd. You got Hydra in 4th. You got 5th is Asgardians. 6th is Avengers. Wave 1 Avengers, Captain America, Widow. They're a great war defense. And there might be some other hybrids and such out there. This is just general war defenses that you're going to come across or that you can build. And that's from strongest to weakest. Obviously, you could plug in Infinity Watch, Black Order, Axemen, Brotherhood, Symbiotes. Any other team you're using on offense, you could put on war defense. But the ones I listed above are actually built for war defense, okay? Now, for war offense, you can use any team that you want that can win, essentially. I mean, you can use any team. They might lose, but you can use any team you want for a war offense. There's very few that have perks like Shadowlands, Ravagers, and such that have war offense perks. But I got some listed off teams here that are most common. Number 1 war offense team is Weapon X. Let me look here. I don't. Infinity Watch is number 2. Tied for 3rd, I got Shadowlands, Fantastic Four, X Factor, Black Order. Tied for 4th is the Uncanny X-Men, Brotherhood 2.0, Astonishing X-Men, X-Force. And then for 5th, I got Power Armor and Symbiotes. And that's kind of the list that I built for the war offenses. In that order, roughly, is kind of the power level, you know what I mean, where they're going to shine. Those are the teams you're going to... So if you're going to build a war offense, obviously, use what you got, but Weapon X, Infinity Watch, Black Order, Brotherhood, Fantastic Four. Ravagers is tied for 2nd, actually. Or Ravagers is number 2. They're tied with Infinity Watch. Ravagers are. My bad. But Weapon X is the best. Shadowlands is tied for 3rd. And it can be different from each person. Because if you don't build some of these teams, it don't matter what rank they are. If you build a team up, let's say you take number 5 Power Armor. You take them to 800k. Are they going to be better than Shadowlands at 200k? Yeah. Okay. Because you didn't build Shadowlands. It doesn't matter that Shadowlands is a way better war offense. You didn't build them. Okay. So those are just common war offenses here that I wanted to cover. Okay. War offenses are just going to be teams that you've built. Your arena team, your raid teams, a few blitz teams that have come together, and then teams that you choose personally to pursue. Okay. And you should always build war offense teams. Never build a war defense team. I'm telling you, dude, people will come through and kill you. Okay, let's say I build Shadowlands, right? War offense team, which I'm going to, absolutely, 100%. You build mercenaries. Okay. You put those on defense. I come in with my Shadowlands, they're dead. Who won? The guy that won offense. What did your defense team that you put all your stuff into do for you? You don't get to play them. You don't get any war credits for using them. You don't get nothing for doing that. But I got war credits. I moved through your room, cleared your team, and I can use them in other places because I built a war offense. Wars are won on war offense. Do not worry about war defense, okay? War defense is very, very important later on. But as a beginner alliance, you do not need to worry about war defense at all. It will come naturally. I actually want to jump over real quick while we're here talking about teams. I want to show you my setup for my main account. And I throw some weak teams here at the beginning, but AIM was my original team. I threw them on defense. Let me move my head here out of the way. Bam. Okay. So, once again, I'll click here. AIM was my original team. This is where I stopped at with them. They've leveled up through Red Star's acquisition and such. I threw this team in here. This is my Weapon X. It's missing Sabretooth, obviously, because he's better in other places. I got these. It's just another shambles team that I don't use. Guardians of the Galaxy, if I can make them use a 300-400k team on them, that's great. Even a 200, anything to slow down your opponent, right? Otherwise, they just set my roster. They don't get used on war offense, so why not throw them on defense? They're one of my stronger teams. Heroes for Hire. See, they're going to see my first 4 rooms. They're going to be like, let's go after this guy. He looks so weak, right? And then they're going to hit my Heroes for Hire, and it's not built very high, but it takes a 550, 600k Infinity Watch to take these babies down. So, especially when I boost them with ward defense. So they get through that. They're going to see this and be like, oh my god, easy team. Another great ward defense. And I'll talk about strategy of building 1 big, 4 small here in a minute. Then I got my mercenaries with my Shuri. It's not built very big. As you see, I don't focus ward defense teams. I didn't do Red Skull Hydra. I built Avengers because I love them. I didn't do Fantastic Four. I didn't go very hard on Heroes for Hire, nor will I. It's all Shang-Chi for me. He's amazing plug and play character, can be used elsewhere. Again, I just put Asgardians on defense, 530k. I always use them on war offense because they can clear up most of the teams. I mean, they're a top 10 war offense, really. I mean, in my opinion, depends on how big they're built. They're not going to beat meta defenses, but not many teams do. So, you know what I mean? And then I got my best team for last. So even if they clear all the way through this, they're going to run into my Marauders, and usually they'll kill off my small ones because you see I don't invest in war defense teams. It's worthless. You don't get enough money, enough resources, time to invest in a war defense team. But I did build her for Arena for a while, so now she's on war defense because she's a war defense character. I built him for Arena for a while and for Dark Dimension, both these for Dark Dimension. And now they're together on war defense in a team. So they usually come in, they kill those three, and then they might kill him off, but they usually don't get through her. And if they do, they wasted a ton of attacks and a really strong team to get through her. So now looking at comparison here, he's got some strong teams up front, so they're more likely going to attack me, right? But what he's showing up front is a similar Heroes for Hire and a similar Marauders, a little bit weaker. But they're probably going to say, hey, let's go after this dude. He looks a lot weaker. They're going to run into my Heroes for Hire, which is actually stronger than his. And they're going to run into my Avengers, my Guardian, or my Asgardians and such. And then they're going to be like, okay, let's go after this dude, right? And then I'm not going to show you what he has next, but they think they can get through him all of a sudden, and it just gets more beautiful for them. So it's actually quite wonderful. And that's strategies and such. I don't want to show you the placement of Titans Reborn because it's just not cool. This is a flight deck too, so I didn't want to give nothing away there. All right. But that's how I set up my war defense. And I feel that's very, very important to do. It's to show you, I mean, don't invest in them. They're not worth it at all. Now, if you've invested in, like I said, if you invest into Emma Frost or Shang-Chi or Taskmaster or Shuri, put them on the defensive team that they can help the most, essentially. I'm half tempted to take Emma Frost off war defense and use her to cleanse against other people's teams because she actually might be more useful that way on a war offense. That's just how much more important war offense is. So the most important rooms in war, and this is from most important, in my opinion, to least important, okay? Armory and barracks are your most important. Armory, then barracks. Then cargo bay, then med bay, then hangar, security, engineering, reactor, then bridge. So that's from most important rooms to protect to least important, right? And the reason is because they get buffs. So I just want to touch on armory here. 20% primary stats to all attacking allies. So as long as this room's alive, it's going to be global. It's going to give it to everybody, plus an extra 10% to military. That's a 30% overall. It's huge. Now, the reason Medbay fell back some is they only give you 40% max health. Just makes it harder to chew through people. That's it. It's not... I'd rather have 20% to all stats. More attack, more defense. It's going to take 40% max health, right? And all security does is gives you defense down to all your enemies attacking you. So, and it's to adjacent rooms. So this room and any room that touches it, bam, 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 bam. That touches it. It doesn't go diagonally, obviously, right? So this barracks, armory, medbay, and reactor will all have defense down on opposing enemies attacking them, as well as security. And engineering is just the opposite. It gives defense up. Apply defense up to defending allies. That is huge. It's only to adjacent, though. So I'd rather use engineering to utilize its defense up early on. I don't want to protect that room myself, honestly. In my war strategies, anyway. It's not worth it. It's borderline useless, really. Cargo bay. 20% primary stats to all defending war ready. So that's what made it worse. Not all your characters are going to be war ready, and honestly, I don't know that any of us are going to have any war ready characters. A war ready ally or war ready character, I believe to be level 4 tier 1 ISO is what a war ready character is. Let me do this real quick. That's what I believe a war ready character to me is. It has a level 4 tier 1 green ISO. But you can easily go in here to your roster. I just want to show you real quick. Go all the way to the bottom. Where is war ready at? Right here. Bam. We literally don't have a single war ready character. So I believe that's what it means because I don't have any level 4 ISOs, right? I don't know. That's what I believe it to mean. Pretty sure. Like, 87%, 88%. All right. So that's why Armory and Barracks are so much more important. It's because it gives to all stats. Cargo Bay is more to war ready, as well as Hangar. I want to show off the Hangar here. 10% primate stats to all attacking war ready allies. So that ain't going to do nothing for anybody. I could throw the Hangar away at this point. Apply deflect to all attacking allies is huge. So once you get both these, it's an essential room. That's why it's in 5th. Security and engineering, they're going to go as they're going to go. I'd rather protect Hangar myself. In my personal opinion. All right. And Reactor and Bridge are only at the bottom of the list because they don't do anything. They're just big points. And it only gives this to the room. Apply Disrupt to attacking enemies is all it does. Which is huge, but it's a 100-point room. It's not really important. It's just worth a lot of points. As well as Bridge. It's worth 200 points. Apply 10 positive effects randomly to defending allies. So all these two rooms do is they're huge points, and they protect the people that are in those rooms. Okay? Now I want to show you the most common war strategies. FD 1, 2, and 3 are junk rooms. They're just to throw your weakest people in your alliance. And maybe misguide people. I've seen people where they put their strongest teams in the top 2 rows. Is another strategy. Like your 6 strongest members go on the top. Then your next 6 strongest right here. So they chew through the hardest war defenses in the world to get to the next round. They're like, oh my god, this war defense is sick, right? Where do they go at that point? They can go try to chew through one of these beasts or this beast, But if they do get through that, they start finding weaker people. They eat you from the bottom up if they can get through it. I've seen that war strategy, and we've encountered it. It's very, very difficult to battle. You have to use all your powerful teams and hope that you're going to get to something better on the other side, right? It can really throw people off. All right, defense placement, like I told you, you want mirroring teams in both rooms. So if I put Heroes for Hire, I want him to put Heroes for Hire. If I put Mercenary, I want him to put Mercenary. You know what I'm saying? So that way, when they come in, they look at both and they see which one they want to attack. If we're the same teams, they don't get no inside information, essentially. Now, that's more of a late game tactic, but it works. Now, the 1 strong, 4 weak characters is huge. Now, on war defense, I guess I can stay right here. I can go edit. A guaranteed great war defense is to go like this. Bam. That's an amazing war defense right there. They have to bring in a whole team to try to beat me because I have a 43,000. Yes, they're going to kill these 4, but if they don't bring a couple characters that can combine kill 1 level, whatever, 43,000 power, he's just going to nuke them all. And then they're going to come back in with another team. I'm going to nuke them all. Okay? Like Emma Frost. She heals herself. She slows you, and she's just so beefy that... And she makes you kill yourselves, too. She makes 2 of your allies attack 1 with defense down. So she's quite... I believe that's what happens. Quite sensational. But you can put her by herself with 4 weak ones, and they have to bring in a 500, 600k team to beat her. 1 strong, 4 weak. It's a strategy. And that's probably the strategy you'll use most once you get your 10 war offenses, is you'll take 10 strong characters, and you'll go and you'll plug them in. 1 in each room. 1 strong character in each room. And that way they have to bring a solid team into each room to get through you. It's a huge... It's a beautiful strategy, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Another instance here, like... And you can just ask yourself, what would I use to kill that team, right? Obviously, you could bring a Kestrel that would nuke... Say I put Wolverine right here. Or Captain Marvel, or... You know what I mean? You're going to come at this team and you're going to be like... How am I going to beat that? Okay, well, I can bring in my Kestrel that's 40k and beat that. Maybe. Unless he nukes your Kestrel. If she doesn't nuke him, plus he has a bunch of heals built in, bro. I don't know. So it's interesting. You're going to have to bring in a beefy character and hope that 1 character can duel my guy. And more than likely, you're going to bring in more than that. Because if you're spending time taking out minions with Kestrel, he's going to be beast in the shit. Or he's going to be tearing the crap out of Kestrel while you're hitting these other minions, bro. And essentially, he's going to kill you, right? So you're going to have to bring in a decent team. I'm just asking you, what would you use? Would you waste your Kestrel? Would you waste your Cap Sam? Would you waste, you know what I mean? Which character are you going to use? And that defensive strategy is huge. It helps so much. It slows down your enemies and it makes them use teams. So I would utilize that first before putting full defensive teams. And I would never build a defense team until you have every war offense you could possibly need. And you need at least 14 war offenses because you can buy 4 extra attacks plus they give you 10 for free. That's 14 attacks potentially. Now, just do your 10 attacks. Early on, you want to be buying orbs, getting characters maxed. And that's going to be for at least over a year. Do not buy the war stuff to do extra attacks. It's not worth it. Unless you have money and you're going to spend money in this game, then absolutely. It's fun, enjoyable, and it's, you know what I mean? I get more fun from doing a war attack and spending $1 or something, you know what I mean? It's just so much fun. But that's one of the best war defense strategies, is 1 strong, 4 weak. Obviously, if you do 2 strong, 3 weak, you're just going to do that much better, right? All right, so now I want to talk about defensive room placement. I'm going to show you our first setup, and then I'm going to show you how it works in the first war. All right, so I want to protect armory. And this is how I'm going to base it off of is my list of most important rooms. No, I don't want to do that. I want to move it. Boom. I want to move armory down here. This is one of the most common setups, and I'll explain to you why. So I want to protect armory and barracks. I want to pull barracks. Move barracks and hangar. And then I want to protect cargo bay, barracks, armory, med bay. Med bay. Cargo bay is third important, so I'll move room. All right. This is your most common setup, and these can be flipped. Obviously, these two can be flipped, you know. I put it here because if they get through my bridge, I don't care at that point if they kill my armory. You know what I mean? Because they already gutted your team, kind of. They got big points, and them killing armory ain't going to make that much of a difference. But I don't see them getting through bridge anyway. This is the most common war defense strategy for your rooms. The reason being is because they're going to come in, they're going to be like, well, we look here, obviously they got defense up, we know that engineering's underneath. We don't want to go that way starting out. We can go here, there's no defense up, we can chew through it, it's awfully easy. We can go here, no defense up or defense down, so we can chew through it, it's awfully easy. So what they'll tend to do is they'll go in the middle. People like to go down the middle, right? And the reason you go down the middle is because when you clear both these rooms, you can see what's on sides. But once you get to the bottom and you clear this whole thing here, you can see here or here. And that's how you pick your way to go back up. You get what I'm saying? They like to. That's one of the best war offenses to go down the middle. It opens up the whole board so you can see what's going on and where, and then you can plan where you want to attack. That's why we put the reactor right here, because they're going to come through here. They're going to come in. They're going to kill these shield defaults, and they're going to come down to our reactor, and they're going to have a rude awakening because we have defense up on all defending teams from engineering. They have defense down from security below reactor, and they have disrupt, essentially neutering their whole team. Just gutting them. They have no chance. I mean, they're going to have to punch down between 100 and 300k on every team they're fighting. They're going to have to bring in a huge team, 50 to 100k team. Obviously, I'd want to put in somebody that's put in strong teams in this reactor because they're never going to get through it. The goal is that they don't get through the reactor. They give up on the reactor. They come over here. They go through this minions. They come down to hangar. They go through it. And they literally have to work their way all the way around. But once they get here, they're getting defense down again. And then they chew through this, and they see security. So they can go after security, which can have solid defenses here as well. And they're going to be like, no, we're going to go down to med bay and take down 40% max health off security so it's easier to kill. And then they're going to see barracks, and they're going to be like, do you go security or barracks? Which one's weaker? they're never getting anywhere near this bridge. The 200 points, they never killed your reactor because it's so well defended. And they didn't go this way because they know they had to go through defense up twice. It's phenomenal war defense setup. And the whole time you got these rooms down here protected that are giving you 20% primary stats to your attacking allies that you're killing your enemy with. Essentially tearing their rooms apart. And then let's look at barracks here. 20% primary stats to all defending allies while they can't get through your room. So you're protecting that room. That's why they're so important. You want these rooms to last as long as they can. I'd rather lose 200 points than lose one of these rooms. I'd rather lose 100 points than lose one of these rooms. Because we're going to kill more. We're going to kill their bridge and their reactor and several of the other rooms. As long as our main rooms stay alive down here, I'm not worried about it. Honestly. And that's a strategy that you can use. Obviously, there's different strategy where you put the bridge in the bottom corner. You could also take, I want to show you this. You could swap security and engineering. So they have defense down when they're going at this one. That makes it even harder, and put really strong people right here. And that way they have to be forced to go this way. Obviously, you can kind of look into it and be like, well, obviously they don't want us to go that way, right? Or maybe it's a trick and they got their bridge over here thinking you're going to try to chew through it. I don't know. That's where you got to, you know what I mean? Strategy comes into play, and it can win or lose you a war potentially. Another thing I thought about doing too personally is, dang it, I want to move this room. Move, bam, bam. All right, but I want security to go. I would swap engineering and armory, but obviously I want to protect my armory more than some of these other rooms. So I'd want cargo bay. So I'm going to move armory, med bay, move room, med bay, cargo bay. Okay, so now I'm giving up another boosted room, essentially, but I'm not telling them where any of my engineering or my security is at, okay? Once they get here, they're going to know my security is below it, right? So they're going to try to go around, but when they come over here, they're going to have some of the strongest teams with defense up and defense down on the attackers. If they get through it, it's sick. I don't see them getting through it. But they might get through it eventually. If they do, it's going to take everything they have, and you're just going to win the war anyway. So more than likely, if you have strong teams right here and you funnel them this way, the same thing's going to happen again. They're going to come down. They're going to have to work their way around. Now, if they do come down to your bridge, they're going to have a rude awakening because, well, let's look. Do you want to fight any of these teams when you have defense down and they have defense up, plus 10 positive effects randomly applied, plus she's putting more negative effects on you? I'm just saying, man. You tell me if you think you can win when you start with defense down. And if we're fighting people of similar caliber, they're going to have to use their best teams to get through it. You know what I'm saying? Essentially. But that's just another strategy that you can run. None of this is mandatory. I've rambled a lot, haven't I? But it's important information, man. And I hope this really helps you. So I talked about mirroring in the rooms if you can. Wars are won on offense. 1 strong, 4 weak characters on a war defense. If you have enough players, focus your war teams first. Okay, wars are won on offense. You get extra credits on offense, not defense. Defense does nothing till later. I talked about the top war offense and defense teams. Obviously, there's hybrids, and there's also the subjective opinion. You know what I mean? Beginners, come in, pick a room. Your leadership will move you around as needed. But make sure you have your offenses over a defense. Defenses are great, and it will get you put into a better room because you have defense to protect it. But you really need to have attack so you can help kill rooms and score points. I showed you a couple of strategies with your stuff. Obviously, you could flip this, like literally just do a 180 to where your bridge is here, your med base here, cargo bay, hangar. You get what I'm saying? You flip the 2 outsides, and it literally just flips your map. It just goes. And then next time you fight the same alliance or someone else, they might think, oh, I know where this guy's bridge is. And they go down that side and they're like, what's going on? It's totally different, right? So it's just a way to mix it up is to flip your strategies or completely change them. Or you could just do something really weird that nobody would ever expect, right? I'd really like to try something here, though. Move room. Okay, so you can't move a flight deck. I was going to put my bridge on the top. Say, come after me, baby. See what they say. You know, just try it out. Obviously, that'd be a terrible idea. All right, that's all I got. Much love. I hope this helped. Comments, questions below, please. Also, check out the Discord. I can answer your questions there as well. More than happy to. There's tons of helpful people there. I hope this helps you get into wars like them, because that's my favorite game mode, okay? And it can be frustrating moving through it, all right? The fun part is you got to pick which characters you're going to sacrifice to take out a room, and then you got what's left of your roster that you have built that you got to use to take out more rooms, and that's just so exciting, right? I mean, to me, it's very, very interesting. Stay healthy. Much love. Like and subscribe. You guys have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.